let's talk about what makes laminate flooring waterproof. Laminate flooring is made with high-density fiberboard, typically. There are many different types of products out on the market. There's a lot of hybrid products out there. So today, I just want to identify for you what makes us able to call these products waterproof. What are we doing in today's technology that allows these products to perform in bathrooms and kitchens and areas where there's frequent spills? Typically, amongst almost every manufacturer of laminate flooring worldwide, there are three major components that make this product waterproof. And important to understand is that these waterproof capabilities are top-down waterproof capabilities, meaning once the flooring is installed, the surface of the floor is impervious. Liquid does not pass through the joints between each one of the planks. So let's say the three components that make the product waterproof. The first component, and maybe one of the most important, is the core board. Typically, in former years, this was just an HDF, a high-density fiberboard core. And that had a specific density, and that's what most manufacturers use to produce laminate flooring. Today, there are many innovative technologies in core board technology that have changed, let's say, the recipe for the core board, making them significantly more resistant to moisture and the absorption of liquids or absorption of humidity from the air. These super core boards have swell rates that are dramatically lower than yesterday's core boards. And that's a main component in why these products are performing so well in today's marketplace. So that core board has an increased density and it has a different recipe. It's still primarily, when I say primarily, I mean more than 90% wood-based. In some cases, well above 96, 97% wood content. And then there are resins or applications used within that core board that encapsulate the wood fibers and don't allow those wood fibers to absorb moisture. The second major reason why these products are waterproof today is that the edges have a treatment. In some cases, manufacturers will use a wax treatment on the edges. In other cases, manufacturers will use a special lacquer application when they color the bevel, and that lacquer application acts as a sealant to the core board. It also acts as a repellent from any liquid that might get spilled on the floor. And then the third major component of what makes these products waterproof is the locking system. There's been tremendous advances in locking system capability today, and different manufacturers will use different locking system technologies. Whatever that locking system technology is, once the floor is installed, the surface is impervious. Now, our industry has a test. That test was created by the North American Laminate Flooring Association, or NALFA. That test is a seam infiltration test. Essentially, that test requires you to install 3 planks in order to create a T-seam. And then a pool of water is placed on top of that T-seam, and it sits on that T-seam for 24 hours. The product is then disassembled, allowed to dry for a short period of time, and then it's checked to see if any of that liquid passed through that joint. That test is a 24-hour test. If no liquid passed through that joint, the product is then NALFA certified as being water resistant or waterproof. You may hear out in the marketplace 48 hours, 72 hours, 100 hours. These are all probably legitimate claims being made by different manufacturers, but those are independent tests done by those manufacturers for a test beyond what is the industry standard test of 24 hours. Most waterproof laminate flooring today will sustain liquid spills well beyond the 24-hour industry standard test. and potentially well beyond the 72 and 100 hours that many companies claim. But it's important to understand that there's only one industry standard test, and that's a 24-hour test. As long as you pass that test as a manufacturer, you can call your product waterproof or water resistant. The surface of laminate flooring is like a laminate countertops. The surface is already waterproof. It's also antibacterial, it's antifungal, it's antimicrobial. This surface is incredibly durable. And when you talk about water resistant, water can sit on the face forever. What's most important when talking about waterproof or water resistant is whether or not that liquid penetrates the joint or the seam where the planks go together. And that's really the main factor in determining waterproof or water resistant capability. So there's a lot of different technologies on the market. Be sure to understand the technology that you are using, that your manufacturers are providing you, and make sure that you understand which locking system they're using before you go forward and install the floor.